This is the Ordinary Business Podcast for business owners who want honest conversations, a lean business, and an extraordinary life on their own terms. Amy, where is your favorite place to do a work sprint?
Okay, I feel like I knew ahead of time you were going to ask me this, and my answer is all of the places because it's a vibe-dependent answer. So like right now, today, I need the sunshine like a little plant. So I'm in the corner of our primary bedroom. I have a desk here. Sometimes I need two giant screens, so I'm in my basement. Sometimes I need people around me but not talking to me, so I'm in a coffee shop. But I would say usually it is the desk in our bedroom. It's the coziest. It has the best vibes.
The best vibes. But I appreciate that the sprints are kind of vibe dependent.
A lot of getting a good product out of your work sprint is going with vibes. And I will stand by that.
I love this. Okay, so first step, decide the vibes.
Yes, first step, set the tone, set the vibes.
Yes. Okay, before we get into talking about work sprints, can you tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do?
Yes. Hello. My name is Amy Hanneke. I am a website copywriter and brand messaging specialist. I write websites and help people define their cool, talk to their people about their cool, all the messaging things. So that is me in a nutshell.
I love it. And we are talking about work sprints because this is a thing that you have talked about on Threads.
Yes.
And you were part of the Ordinary Business Summit and did a Slack chat all about work sprints. And so I was like, we need to talk about this because I don't want to make up the numbers, but tell us like what a typical week looks like.
Yes.
With work sprints and your childcare and that kind of stuff.
Yes. So I have one speed for working and it is sprinting because I have a 3 and a 4-year-old. They go to preschool. Now this school year, they do go to preschool for 3.5 hours a day. So not to brag, but I am getting almost nearly half of a full work day.
I love it. But it used to be like
it used to be 2.5. It used to be 2.5.
Okay, and
over the summer,
hours.
It's nothing. So it has been. We're 2 weeks in. They're wrapping up their second full week right now. We're recording this on a Friday, and it has been amazing. But I only have one speed and it's sprinting because I do work, for full disclosure, I do work some in the evenings. I do work some on weekends, but I would do that anyway because of how my personality is. So
yeah,
we're just sprinting.
Okay. So we're going to kind of talk in detail about these sprints so that others who have limited time for whatever reason can figure out how to set up their sprints. So step one, when you sit down for a sprint, well, we already know step one is what's the vibe, but like
yes.
once you figure out the vibe, what's the first step? Are you like writing down notes? Are you opening a certain tab of your browser? Coffee? Like what's the first step?
Always coffee. I have so my kids go to school around 8:30 to 9 in the morning. And that's relevant because I usually have a few hours of being awake before I have a work sprint. And I'm going to start with, I know you asked the first thing that I do. I need to tell you, it's not planning the work sprint. You do that before the sprint, and I will die on that hill.
Okay.
You plan the sprint before you start it. Because if you have like limited time to actually get in there and do deep work in your business or whatever it is that you're doing, you're not wasting that on the planning. So I literally will sit down and be like, okay, I have a newsletter that comes out every Thursday. I usually write it on Wednesdays. I should write it further ahead, but I'm not going to. Like, I have client work to do. I have loose themes to my days. So like, I know kind of what I'm doing on like a Monday versus a Wednesday. But the first thing you're doing cannot be planning. You have to do that ahead of time. And then usually what I'm doing is setting up all my tabs for the specific task. So like if I'm writing a client's website that day, I'm opening all of the tabs for like their current website, their kickoff call notes, their questionnaire that they filled out for me, their copy draft, their messaging strategy. Like I'm opening 20 tabs and I'm closing everything else. I also brick my phone if my phone is a problem. If my phone's a problem. It's not always a problem, so I don't always bother with it. But get straight into the thing and then go from there.
Okay. So with the pre-planning, are you also mentioned kind of the theme
Mhm.
days-ish, like loosely.
Mhm.
So on Sundays, are you like, here's my sprints for the week, and this is what I'm gonna do on like Tuesday sprint and Wednesday sprint? Or are
Mhm.
you like in your planner, like next Wednesday, my sprint needs to be
I would
this?
love I would love to have it so together that I could tell you what I'm doing next Wednesday, but that is simply not my truth. Um, so it works better for me. When I started my business, I really wanted to have a system like this where I would sit down every Sunday or like the beginning of the month and know what was going to go on in the quarter or things like that. And that is just not how my particular brain works. And I actually don't think it's conducive to good content and creativity anyway to be trying to force yourself to like know what's going to happen in the future, if that makes sense.
Right. Yeah, 100%.
So I usually it's like in the morning. Like
Okay.
when kids are up, they again, they're 3 and 4, they can occasionally play together without hitting each other. So, on days where that is successful, I will usually just sit down and like pop open my laptop, take a look at my emails, like figure out what's going to go on for the day. If not, though, I will actually usually do it sitting in car line to drop them off. Usually, I turn on a
Oh.
song that they're vibing with. It is our car line, our preschool car line is like a rager of toddlers. Like, everyone is fully parked because you literally have to drive up and drop. There's like one set time that we all do it.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so we're all
Mhm.
parked in a parking lot, and everyone has like kids waving out the window and whatever. So honestly, like they see their friends, they're good to go. They're waving, they're making dinosaur noses across a parking lot. And I'm like, okay, like I need to write this person's homepage and this person's metadata and then tomorrow's newsletter. And that'll be like my big 3 things for the day.
Okay, gotcha, gotcha, yeah. That makes more sense doing it just kind of, like, in the morning beforehand. You're not, like, pre-planning 3 days or a week in advance,
No, yeah, no.
which makes more sense because I was like, "Man," like, I don't think I could I'm a planner, and I don't think I could be like, "Next Wednesday, my
No,
sprint is
no.
going to be
I wish
this."
I wish I could. Like, I will leave myself notes. I actually literally people always ask, like, "What systems do I use and what apps do I use?" It's just the reminders app in my phone, but I
Mhm.
will leave myself reminders, like, there's a client I need to follow up with today because I had a question. She owes me the answer. She hasn't gotten it to me yet. I need to follow up with her. There's a reminder on my phone went off this morning for it. So there's always tiny little things like that that I'll set reminders for, but usually it's like big picture, I need to do it on the fly because that way when things come up, as they inevitably do, you're always ready to kind of shift with your surroundings.
So, when you are planning out these sprints, how do you decide, like, these tasks need a sprint, these tasks, I don't know, I'll just do, like, in pockets of time, or,
Mhm.
like, when I'm watching TV in the evening?
So it's both. I have sprints and then I have chaos is what I'm going to refer to the other option as. I only sprint or cause chaos. But I so sprints to me are for my deep work. And that in my specific business is client work,
Mhm.
long form content writing. Like, I'm slowly don't hold me to this if you're listening to this because this is airing a month after we record it. This we'll see. I'd love to become a YouTube girly. I envision, like, video recording to be deep work because can you
Mhm.
do that with a toddler next to you? Well, you could, but I'm not
It's
going to. It
difficult.
sounds terrible. It sounds really
Yes.
awful. So, I won't be doing that, but, basically in my head, it's like, can I do this with kids near me? Or do I need my kids to not be near me? And client work
Mm.
is my number one priority for those work sprints because that is my number one priority in my business. So
Mhm.
those things I absolutely am like, that is for a sprint, a child-free sprint. But if it's like reply to that email or do there were a couple of people I wanted to message yesterday about like a new offer and I literally just set a reminder. My kids are in gymnastics and it's not like I don't participate. I just go like
Same.
watch
Yeah.
them knock each other over. It's a really good use of our money. I watched them knock each other over. And I was like, oh yeah, I need to like tell these 3 people about this thing. Or like, I'm doing like a free website updating challenge right now. I was like, I'll post in Slack when I'm like brewing my coffee tomorrow. Not a big deal. So like
Yeah.
in my head, there's basically when they're in school, when they're not in school. And it depends. Like I am probably more distracted than I would like to be in my life. That's something I'm working on. But like also if they're happy and playing with each other and riding their bikes in our backyard, like what else am I going to do but grab my
Mhm.
phone and yeah, I can't bike with them. Our yard is too small for that. Their bikes are 2 feet tall. Like our yard's perfect for that. They're happy. I'm happy. Everyone's happy. I'm replying to messages. We're good to go. I am not writing client content during that time.
I think that's a very easy distinction of like, do I need to be distraction free,
Yeah.
or can this quick little DM or several DMs happen like while gymnastics is happening? Our
Mhm.
my toddler is also in gymnastics, and they kind of like move around the
Mhm.
room, or like the it's not just a room, the place. And there's one part where they literally kind of like in this like loft thing in the corner of the room that has like fencing around it so that, kids don't fall off. You cannot see anything when you're over in the parent watch area. You can't even see, you like barely see the top of their heads. And so whenever they go over there, it's like, all right, well, I'm going to go sit on the couch and just, wait for them to be
That's
done.
what yes, that's what I do. There's like certain corners like where I sit in the parent watch area, there's places I can and can't see them, so I know when I can kind of look down, and they're not necessarily looking for me to be looking at them the whole time, as long as I look at them
Right.
sometimes and like wave. And also there are some parents that like they have the mental capacity to like some of the parents just put their phones down and stare, and they will literally be like, "Oh my god, your kids are so cute." And then I'm like, "Oh yeah. What's up?"
Yes,
So
yes, very cute, very cute.
yes, very cute. Thank you, thank you. So yeah, so it's a good time. It's a good time for it both. A lot of the parents will have like a book or something else going on,
Yeah,
so I don't feel
yeah,
bad about that one.
yeah, agreed. Okay, so another question. You've kind of touched on this, so I think I know the answer, but are you batching kind of like similar task, or it's more like this is just what needs to get done today?
Ooh. Batching is probably too formal a word for what I
Mhm.
do. But and again, this is like inside my very specific business because my business is writing and messaging. So, like, if I'm in writing mode, I try to be only in writing mode for that time period. So I guess
Mhm.
that is batching, but it's like I also have to specify it by client because I can't, like, just because I'm like vibing with writing that day, I can't pick up multiple projects. And at this point, I just schedule it so my projects don't really overlap. Like I'm only ever writing for
Mhm.
one person at a time in sprints because it's my speed. But like I try to batch writing tasks together because once you're writing, you're writing. And then socials, I don't pre-batch, but I will, like, if I'm really having a moment with threads, I'll go like schedule a couple for later that day or something like that. Don't steal my social media content creation schedule is also the other takeaway.
So it's like a little mix of both. Also, it sounds like time dependent and just that kind of thing, which is also how even though I don't formally do sprints, but I'm also very much like I get in design mode,
Yeah.
or then it's like, oh, I'm very much in just admin or like chaos mode of just like,
Yep.
I don't know, I need to like do this thing and that thing and like this other thing. And like, I
Yes.
don't know. What did I do today? What did I do? I
I
don't
don't
even know.
that's literally me. And I will say, I think the biggest thing that I have had to learn as someone who was a planner, like again, prior to this business, working in my corporate life, I would have wanted to know what I was doing next
Mm.
Wednesday. But now I feel like the trick is you have to be better at the pivot than you are like rigidly holding onto a system.
Okay, so I have a question because you mentioned like pivoting. Obviously, we have kids, so sick
Mhm,
days
mhm.
or no school today because of
Yes.
snow or
Yes.
whatever.
Yes.
In my head, even without hiccups, I'm like, I don't know if I could do everything I do in like 2 to 3 hour sprints. And plus your evenings and weekends and like other little time
Mhm.
slots. But I feel like that would stress me out if it's like, okay, I got like my 3 hours today and then go to wake her up for breakfast. And I'm like, oh, you're sick. Okay, you're staying home today. Now what? Like, are you
Yep.
still trying to kind of sprint? Are you like, I will do my 3 hours tonight after bedtime? Because we know we have client deadlines, and
Yes, we do.
I at least, I'm hoping you do also. I know my clients would be like, your kid is sick. It can wait a day. It's a website.
They absolutely would. At this point, I factor that into my booking capacity, and the
Mm,
timelines that I give clients have that factored in. So, little behind the scenes moment. I am not good at tracking my time, but I'm trying to be better at it. I tracked my time to write my latest client website, and I want to say start to finish, it was about 4 to 5 hours of writing. Like, once you get fast at your skill, you're fast at your skill.
yeah, same.
I don't have to Google, like, what goes on a website, you know what I mean? Like, you don't have to Google, like, what do I put in this menu? Like, you know what I mean? We're not, like, we're literally just able
Right.
you're able to work faster and without compromising quality. So, like, it
Yes.
takes me so for me, that's what? A day and a half of childcare, technically, maybe 2, we'll round up, 2 work sprints of childcare. But
Yeah.
I tell clients 2 to 3 weeks. So, like, I
Mhm.
have so much buffer time in there, and I also do have a rule for my own work. That's the 2 sleeps rule. Like, I have to sleep on a draft 2 times before I edit it, and then once again before I send it.
Oh.
So, like, I do build in time for it to breathe, but some of that time is also, like, the other day I had a work sprint scheduled, and someone texted me and was like, "Do you wanna go co-work at a coffee shop?" And I absolutely do, but I'm not gonna write client copy in that setting. Like,
Yeah.
that's not gonna work. So,
Mm-mm.
you gotta build it in. You gotta build it into your timelines. You can't schedule your projects and your client work as if everything will happen perfectly, because it's not going to, and then you're gonna be SOL.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Now, you've mentioned a few like tools and things. So I'm curious to hear tools or like rhythms, rituals, whatever you want to call them, that help keep you focused for those 2 to 3 hours.
Yeah. So I will say if I am really, really focused, if my brain has switched that mode on for client work, I almost feel like my brain bricks itself because I will not notice my phone. Like I simply won't. And which is actually I'm almost worried that I'm going to miss like a preschool notification one day. But one, my brain does conveniently brick itself, but I will manually brick my phone if I need to. Or if someone's texting me. At this point, everyone texting me during the day mostly is also someone who owns a business. So I will say, go away. I'm busy. I'll literally be like, I'll either put it on Do Not Disturb or I'll literally say, I saw this. I'll talk to you later. Text me if I don't get back to you. Like,
Mm.
I will go back into it. And then I also absolutely have to, this is so specific, I have to be wearing shoes to do deep work. I don't know what it is,
Oh, okay.
but it makes you just feel like a little bit more put
Mm-hmm.
together.
Yeah.
So literally I get home from dropping my kids off, I brick my phone or my brain bricks itself. I keep my shoes on from dropping them off, and then I grab like anything in arm's reach that I need. Like usually I grab a little snack, grab my second coffee for the day, grab my water, whatever else. Sometimes I'll set up before I leave, but I'm not always that put together.
Yeah.
And then I will literally just go. And depending on the work, I'd love to be like, I have a productivity playlist, but I can't listen to
Mm-mm.
music with words while I write.
Oh, I mean,
So
yeah. No, I wouldn't be able to either.
no, it cracks me. Some people will be like, oh, I listen to this show in the background. I actually post it because I used to design websites as well. I used to be able to do it when it wasn't word-based deliverables.
Mm-hmm.
I used to be able to watch a show in the background, and I posted that that's the thing I missed, and it started a fight on Threads as to whether or not people can work with a show in the background. I was like, it's okay. But the moral of the story is, I wish I could tell you there was more to the ritual than that, but it's literally rounding up all my stuff, closing out tabs I'm not using, and keeping my shoes on.
No, I love it. This is very ordinary, and I love it because it's not like, oh, I like dim the lights and I turn on candles
No,
and I
there's no
write
lights to
that.
do.
Like, it's like, this is us being very ordinary, and this is how we're getting stuff done.
There's like, I laugh so hard. And that's why I'm so obsessed with this entire ordinary business concept that you've like pulled out of, I think, all of our brains, Jess,
Mm-hmm.
is when people post their morning routines or like, what's that? There's like a book that's like, something about like getting more done. I don't know, but it's like all about morning routines and how it like trickles down to your day. And it's definitely written by someone who's maybe never had to take care of their own stuff before. And
Yes.
I just like, I laugh so hard when I see these like set up for business, like morning routines as an entrepreneur and a parent of 20 who also like volunteers 80 hours a week. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
it's absolutely insane. I'm like, my morning routine is that my children storm into my room if I'm not already up. They tell me something that makes absolutely no sense.
Of
They tell me
course.
they want Cheerios. We go get some Cheerios. And I'm probably still not ready to go drop them off by the time it's time to leave for pickup. Like, I probably am in my pajamas. That's my morning routine, and then we get into it from there.
I love this because I mean, my toddler doesn't storm into our room, but yeah, I'm like, I don't know, my morning routine is just like roll out of bed, go to the
Yeah.
bathroom.
If
Like
I,
I
like,
don't
remember I always brush my teeth, but, like, did I
Yeah,
remember to do, like, the skincare stuff? Maybe, I don't know, but
right. Yeah, I'm like my routine is very like I see those morning ritual things and they're always like my coffee and the fancy like espresso and then they're like my like glass straws and I'm like
I
my
know.
no.
I'm like,
Mm-mm.
I love this for you. I want to romanticize this part of my morning so badly, but I don't know how to romanticize that I drink Folgers half calf. That, like, when I'm getting dressed for the day, it's in my me uniform, which is literally just my necklaces and a t-shirt. Like,
Mhm.
that's just not, I mean, maybe it's good content for this. Maybe we'll have to talk about making a reel together, but like,
We have the same idea.
yep,
We'll talk
yep.
later. Um okay, we got a little off track, but that is okay because this is all part
That's
of
very
the
on
org
brand for us if you're listening.
It is. It is very on brand for us. Last question. If someone is listening and is like, okay, maybe I can do these sprints, maybe this would help,
Mhm.
or, like whatever, what is like the best way for them to start or something to try?
I would try, it's going to be hypocritical that I'm saying this, but I would try tracking your time because I did
Mm,
do this. So basically, and it makes me kind of cringy because in my corporate days, if I was like, I can't possibly do all these things in this time, my manager would be like, have you tried doing a time study on yourself? That's not like, you know what I mean? We're not coming at
mm-hmm,
this from the perspective of like, you need to cram in an unreasonable amount of work into an unreasonable amount of time. But the first thing I think you need to do is figure out where you're currently spending your time and how much time things take you. Because I
mm-hmm,
can say with data backed confidence how long it takes me to write a basic website. By basic,
yeah,
I mean like it's, the same number of pages you start with. You don't have any like crazy offer suites that I have to like write individual giant sales pages for. Like, I
mm-hmm,
know how long that takes me. I know at this point, it takes me like maybe 20 to 30 minutes to write my weekly newsletter. Like, I know how long everything takes so I can piece together my sprints better. I would really truly start with just using a time tracker. I like Toggle. If you're listening, it's
mm-hmm,
Toggl. It is faux free. I've never given them my money, although I feel like I should because I love them. But I would start with figuring out how long everything is taking you and look at like where you're spending time in your business. If you really need to be spending time there, because I was wasting so much time, quote unquote, marketing on Instagram when I started doing this. I was not. I was just wasting
mm.
time on Instagram. So I think even just getting the info helps you see what you can cut out and add to a work sprint. And then going from there, still checking in with your time and seeing like, how long is this taking me? How do I plan around this? Like, just get the info and roll with it.
Good stuff. Well, thank you for talking to us about work sprints. I hope this was helpful for somebody who is also like juggling kids or elderly parents or whoever.
Whoever
Um,
it is in your life that you're juggling.
yes, yes, whoever it is.
If it's
If
yourself, we also get that.
Also true. Also true. If someone wants some copy, wants to check out what you do, where can we connect with you?
I would say the central place that you can find me is my website, hellococreative.com. The funniest place you can find me is Threads at hellococreative. That's my handle on every platform, but those are the two I like to start people off with.
Yes, awesome. Well, I will link to those in the show notes, but thank you so much for being here and chatting with me.
Thanks for having me, Jess.